welcome back. So today I wanted to talk to you about, I think my three, unless I think of more along the way, biggest money saving tips that I have for if you're actually trying to save for specific goals or save for rainy day or something like that. I also thought about doing one of how I got out of debt. I don't know if you'd be interested in it though or not, because I feel like some of it's just like common sense stuff. But if you are interested in it, let me know down below, because I have definitely dealt in the past whenever I was in college with like creditors and collections and all that stuff. And thank goodness I never have to deal with that again, hopefully. But it was a learning experience. So ever since I got the positive pregnancy test, I was like, all right, time to buckle down. I need to save a certain amount of money by the time that the baby comes, so that way we have like a comfortable life while we're taking off of work. So by the time that I got the test, I pretty much knew that over the course of 8 months, I needed to save, and realistically like 7, because I'm assuming that for the last month, I may or may not be working. So I knew that I needed to save, or that I wanted to save roughly $12,000 in that time period. And that's on top of the savings that we put away for rainy day and all that stuff. So I knew I needed to make some changes to make that happen, because I'm definitely not going to stop shopping. And actually, now that baby is coming, we need to buy even more things. So in addition to just like makeup and clothes and fun stuff, we have to buy like baby stuff. So as soon as that happened, I was like, all right, let's sit down, create a plan. I, determined like, okay, seven months and $12,000 is X amount per month. And then X amount per week, since we're paid weekly. So the first thing that I did was, I pretty much know roughly what my paycheck is going to be every week. Fluctuates a little bit here and there because we have bonuses and, slight fluctuations in miles and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's around the same amount. And if you have a job where your paycheck is pretty much the same every week or every 2 weeks, is really easy to, just kind of figure everything out. So the way that we do it is that my husband will pay a lot of like the really large bills that we have. And then we each contribute some to the mortgage. And then I will take care of just like groceries and the utility bills. Since we're not here enough, the utility bills are really low. So I know like every month, X amount of dollars has to come out of my total monthly net income. And then I usually put aside X amount for savings. And then I have some just like fun money, that I can just spend on whatever. And then in addition, now I need to save for the baby. So we do plan on taking anywhere from 3 to 6 months off once the baby comes. So the first thing for me is, because I do love shopping, and I get a lot of promotional emails because I'm signed up to all these email lists and stuff. I love knowing whenever there's a sale. I stopped opening sale emails. Unless there is something where it's like Ulta, where it's like, oh, activate your extra points or whatever. I'll always activate my extra points in case I do end up buying something that I really need/want. But if it's just like the daily email that they send out, that's just like, here's all the new stuff, I stopped opening it. I don't open like 90% of my promotional emails anymore. I still get them to my inbox, but you could always just unsubscribe from those if you want. But I do still like to know if there is a really good sale, because I am still going to need clothing. I am still going to want makeup and stuff, but I've definitely cut back a lot on what I spend, because before I was just being really frivolous about spending, because it was like, well, it's just the two of us, I can spend my money on whatever I want. But now that there's, another person involved, I need to be more responsible about it. So cutting back on reading those promotional emails drastically reduced right off the bat how much I spent every month on just fun stuff, because if I'm not aware of like the really good sales or the good promotions, then I don't have that desire, to shop it. So if it's just like, oh, this product is 30% off or whatever, yeah, I'm not going to open up that email even. Now, if Ulta sent like a 20% off coupon, I'm going to open that and see if there is anything that I need to stock up on. If like, let's say a clothing company, I know that they'll do like 50% off and they send out like a 40% off email, not even going to bother with it because I know that it's not the best deal that I could possibly get. And also there are some websites where I just like would normally go to them every single day just to check and see if there's any like promotion or cool thing going on or gift with purchase or anything. I stopped doing that. So basically, don't put things in front of your face that will enable you to purchase things. And it seems really common sense, but I feel like for a lot of us, it's like, oh, let me just, look at this. I'm bored. And then next thing you know, you're placing an order and you're like, what happened to my money? So that's my number one thing that has really helped to curb the spending, is just not looking at any of that stuff. And the next thing that also has helped a lot is that I try to be a lot more conscious whenever I am purchasing something. Normally, if I see something that I like and I know that I have the excess money in my account to pay for it, I just buy it, because it's like, treat yourself. And that's what I do all the time because I work hard for my money and I want to spend my money whenever I want something. But now I really try to say, like, is this something that I really want? Is it going to, make my life easier? Is it going to, be something that I can wear a lot? Is it going to be useful to me? Or am I just buying it just because I'm bored and I want to buy something? Like, why am I purchasing it? What's the motivation for it? And if it's something that I'm like, oh, I really want it, I'm gonna get it, I add it to my cart, sometimes I'll go all the way through the checkout process to almost the end before you submit the order. And then I'm like, you know what? I really don't need this. I shouldn't be doing it. And then I just cancel and I just close out of it. So if it gets to that point where like I've decided I need it, I want it, I'm gonna get it, and then I'm close to buying it and then just say, never mind, I'm not gonna do it, which happens kind of frequently because the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, is there a reason you really need this? Do you really need it? When I get to that point, if I was going to spend my money on that, and then I cancel, I take whatever money was going to be that total purchase price and I round up to the next dollar or whatever, but so if it's like $52.97, I'll round up to 53. But I will take that money out of my bank account and immediately transfer it into savings because that's money that I was going to spend anyway. So technically I'm not missing it, but now that money is in my savings as opposed to another eyeshadow palette or another pair of jeans that I really don't need. So I do still purchase things, but if there's something that I'm just like, I'm dead set on it and then I change my mind and say, no, you're being stupid, don't buy this. That's whenever I take that money and just transfer it right over into savings and say, there's where that money needed to go. It did not need to go to that purchase. So that's something that I would definitely recommend if you are like me, a shopper, and you tend to spend your money, and you think that you're thinking through your purchase, but then you could always think through it a little bit more. And then the third thing that I would highly recommend is having multiple savings accounts. So I have a savings account currently that I'm using specifically to save for baby. It is that account that I have that specific goal set up for, and that's how much I need to be in that account by the end of it. And then I have another savings account that I just save for rainy day stuff. So just every single week, a certain amount of money goes in there. And it's like, I don't even really like see it because every Friday I log into my bank account, transfer money into all the savings accounts. We also have savings accounts set up at other banks. Like we have our main bank that we use for like our direct deposits and bill pay and stuff like that. But then we have other banks that we use around us that we just go and open up savings accounts. And every single week we go and we put that money in. So both of us contribute into it, and we really don't even check the balances. Like, we kind of have a rough knowledge of how much is in there. But then, like, once a month or so, I'll log in and just check and be like, oh, wow, look at that. Like, we have X amount of dollars in there. Like, I can't believe it's that high already. And we use different accounts for different things. So, like, there's one account that we use specifically if we're saving for, like, a home improvement thing off of our list. Once we get to the certain amount that we need, we cash out that money, pay for our home improvement project, start saving again. You know, even if we don't have a specific project in mind, as a homeowner, things pop up all the time. And it's just nice to have extra money set aside from all of your other money specifically for those repairs. We have an account set up that we use specifically just to pay for large purchases that we may make. So, like, if we want to go on vacation, or if there's like a new, you know, like thing that we want to buy, like whatever it is. Like, the other day we bought a hedge trimmer just because and, you know, we were able to use that money for it. So set up multiple accounts so that way you don't always see all of the money that you have in one spot, because I feel like that can also give you almost like a false sense of security, where you're like, oh, well, I have this, like, if something comes up, I can just use this. But if you have these other ones like set up aside, like, we forget that they're there, except for the fact that we're adding money into them. And we don't really like factor that money into our usable, disposable income type of stuff. Like that, those monies are specifically for other things. So they're not money that, like, let's say my husband came home and was like, I want to buy a horse. He could be like, well, we have enough money in this account. No, that account does not exist in the realm of horses. So for us, at least, it really helps to have accounts that just like almost sit out there in the ether that you don't really pay much attention to until you really need to. And also, if your bank participates with other like apps that allow for like automatic savings and stuff, do those. Like, our bank for the longest time participated with Digit, and I've talked about Digit before, like a while ago. And Digit was an app where you link it with your bank account, and then like pretty much every day it would just go in and take a little bit of money and transfer it into the Digit savings account, which is separate from your bank account. And it would just like accrue there. So like they might take 14 cents one day, and the next day they might take $5 and something. And before you know it, like, you have a few $100s in there, and it's like, oh, cool. I can go buy something that I've been wanting with that, you know? And I would usually allow mine to build up to $1,000 and then just be like, all right, cool. I'm going to go buy this thing that I've been wanting, or that thing that I've been wanting. Unfortunately for us, I don't know what happened, but our bank no longer participates with Digit because of some measure that they did on the back end, where like Digit can no longer log into our bank to actually withdraw. So that sucks. But have been trying to find like a different app that I could use for. I know that there are apps where they'll like do the spare change, where like if you buy something for X amount of dollars and 50 cents, then they'll round up and put that 50 cents in your account, which is all right and all, but Digit was saving a lot more for us versus just the spare change. So I would like to have another app like that, but I would highly recommend Digit if your bank participates with them, because you will save money that you didn't even think that you could save, and you don't even notice that it's gone, because they really study the algorithm of your spending habits. And so I would never log into my bank and be like, oh my God, where did that money go? Like, didn't even notice it was gone. And then you log into Digit and it's like, oh wow, look at how much money I have in there. So have multiple different savings. Don't put them all in one basket, and save for individual goals or individual things separately. So I think that that's pretty much like my three, big ways that I'm saving, and things that are helping me to save. Also, if you have suggestions for people, leave them down below so that we can all learn a little bit. And that's it. I will catch you guys next time. Bye.